Hey everyone, Jordan Orell here making my daily video on circumcision. And today I'd just like to talk about a little idea, a little thing that I like to remember and keep in mind that helps me do my anti-activism, helps me combat circumcision and keep me motivated. And what it is looking at myself and realizing that I would do anything in the world to get my foreskin back. Uh, from years of research and from going through a lot of pain and a lot of psychological processing and a lot of work, I've come to understand that the foreskin is the best part of the penis. That's why they cut it off. That's why they've cut it off for thousands of years, to repress sexuality. It's the same as female genital mutilation. And I'd do anything to have my full sexuality, my whole body, my whole penis, the way it's supposed to be. And that's just one simple decision that would have had to have been different. My parents just would have had to have a teeny tiny bit of education. If just one person had talked to them and explained it, showed them a video of it or something, they may have not cut off the best part of my penis. And it's so simple. It's such a small thing. Wouldn't have really affected anybody much except for me and everybody in my life and everybody connected to me. So I mean, for me it makes a world of difference, and for a lot of people around me it does, but it would have been such a simple thing to inform my parents about. It would have been so easy. I could convince them not to circumcise me in a minute, maybe. I'd like to see if I could go for a record, maybe 30 seconds. For sure by 2 minutes I could convince them not to do it. It would be so easy. And but sometimes, there's a lot of resistance. Just the other day I saw someone on Facebook who was a friend of mine, or a Facebook friend. I don't know who they were actually. They lived in my hometown, Alexandria. Didn't recognize them at all. I had other friends in common with them who I also didn't know very well. And so it's like someone I didn't really know. And I saw a thing, she had just had a baby, a son, and it looked like it was maybe 2 or 3 days ago. So likely he had already been circumcised, based on the rates and where I grew up. And it would have been so easy to just say, I don't know her. It would be really weird to reach out and say something. It would be uncomfortable. I'm afraid she'd get angry at me. And so many excuses I could make. He probably already was circumcised anyways. But then I thought about the fact that, what if he was me? What if that was me? What if I was her son, and it could destroy my whole entire world, as it has? And maybe he hadn't been, for whatever reason. And maybe she would listen, and maybe she just hadn't thought about it, and maybe I could convince her. And so I thought out a Facebook message and linked Elephant in the Hospital and explained, and as quickly as I could, or as succinctly as I could, why it was important, why I was reaching out, why I know a lot about it, and why it's just a very basic message. Said, babies die from this, you should really inform yourself about it. A lot of doctors won't tell you this, but so just please watch this so you can make the best informed decision for your son. I didn't hear back from her. That was a few days ago now. And so probably didn't have any effect, but it could have. And it certainly had the potential to. And I could take that exact same message now and send it to any Facebook friend who I see has a baby. And it's so easy. It's so simple, and the impact it could have is absolutely unimaginable. The suffering that could be prevented from just that one teeny tiny action. And I try to keep that in mind with all the activism I do. I mean, I'm sure I've probably prevented hundreds of babies from being circumcised. I'm, trying to leverage certain things like Garrett Klopper's talk that I helped him promote and do a lot of stuff for, that could potentially end it in the entire United States, which could potentially have a big influence on the rest of the world. So, looking for very high leverage things as well, and remembering that each one of those babies, those millions and millions and millions of babies, are that same effect that it could be on me times many million. But in a one-on-one situation it applies, on a mini situation it applies, on all different ways it applies, just as a way of motivating yourself, as a way of realizing how important this is, how much power we have to do good in this, because it's such a high, like I said, high leverage or high impact work that we're doing. And so I encourage you all to think about that and maybe find some motivation, find your own motivation, whatever that is, and keep it in mind whenever you have an opportunity that you could talk to someone, because it can make a world of difference, and every time you do it, it gets easier and easier. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Would love to hear from you. Love when you comment. Feel free to message me. We'll Skype. Talk to you later. Otherwise, and thanks for watching.